Assalamu alaikum. Today we'll be discussing otitis externa and the clinical type of otitis externa, boil or furuncle. Okay, first we'll go through a few basic terminologies. What is a furuncle and what is a carbuncle? We've got quite a few differences, but for simpler terms, furuncle is an infection of a single hair follicle, while carbuncle is an infection of a group of hair follicles which are associated close to each other. What is the causative organism? The main causative organism is Staph aureus. What are the risk factors? The major risk factor is diabetes mellitus, because diabetes mellitus leads to an immunocompromised state, which is a state where Staph aureus infects the most. The other state is people who swim frequently. Why? Because due to constant contact of water with the external auditory canal, the skin becomes moisturized and it is susceptible to injury, and in that injury excuse me, and in that injury Staph aureus can infect easily. Now, before going through the clinical features, we need to have a thorough understanding of what a boil or a furuncle is. Basically, it's an hair follicle infection. Now, in the anatomy of the external ear, I told you guys that in the external auditory canal, there is a cartilaginous part, the outer part, and an inner bony part. In the cartilaginous part, we discussed that there are hair follicles. So this entire pathology is taking place in the cartilaginous part. Now, what is the very first symptom is that the patient is going to present with itching. Why is that? Whenever we have an infection that is involving the skin gets irritated, hence we are getting an itching. Number two is otalgia. Otalgia means ear pain. The reason we're getting ear pain here is that the hair follicles are very tightly adherent to the skin of the external auditory canal. And as we discussed in anatomy, the skin of external auditory canal is heavily innervated by innervations coming from the trigeminal nerve and from cervical divisions. And since we are having an infection here, so sometimes we get a very slight fever. Now, otorrhea means air discharge. We can have discharge here if the boil or furuncle ruptures, hence we can have an air discharge coming out. Deafness. Now, why is deafness here? If the boil or furuncle is large enough, we know that external auditory canal is a tube and it is a part of the conductive apparatus. So if the tube is closed by this large boil, it can lead to conductive deafness. Tenderness. Here we are specifically referring to the tragus sign, which is an important diagnostic point. That is, if we press the tragus, it's going to be tender to touch. Palpable mass. Sometimes the lymph nodes draining the external auditory canal can drain that infected material and become enlarged. Hence, we can have lymphadenitis. The main symptoms you should focus are that the itching and the ear pain and the tragus sign, which leads to the tenderness. Okay, what are the differentials here? There are two differentials. Number one is mastoiditis, which is infection of the mastoid ear cells and the mastoid bone, which we discussed in middle ear. Now, how do we differentiate it from mastoiditis? Number one, in mastoiditis, we are going to have an history of otitis media. Also, when we do an X-ray in mastoiditis, the mastoid bone is going to appear hazy. Second differential that we have to differentiate it from exostosis. Exostosis is just a bony extension in the external auditory canal. How do we do that? Exostosis is painless, while this is painful. Number two, exostosis can occur in the bony part as well, while this only occurs in the cartilaginous part. Now, treatments, we have the medical treatment and we have the surgical treatment. In medical treatments, if it's the Staph aureus infection, we give antibiotics for Staph aureus. Usually, we are using Augmentin, which is a combination of amoxicillin and clavulanic acid. For the pain, we are going to give analgesics. And if there is swelling in the external auditory canal, we give a special solution, APAC, that is 10% istamol in glycerin, and we give air packings of that. If the boil is very large, or the infection is spread further into the external auditory canal, we treat it by surgically by giving incision and draining the boil or the abscess. Okay, this is it for boil. I've added a video in the description, a video link in the description where you can see the boil with an otoscope. So kindly go and look at that video as well. Okay, now we're going to talk about otomycosis, also known as fungal otitis externa. Okay, and for the definition, Automycosis. Aut means air, mycosis means fungal infection. It means that there is a fungal infection in the external air that is at the skin of the external auditory canal. Now, what are the predisposing factors? Whenever we are dealing with a fungal infection, you need to keep two things in mind. Number one, fungal infection occurs in an immunocompromised state. Number two, fungus loves to grow in a warm and wet place. Okay, so keeping these in mind, the number one predisposing factor is diabetes mellitus again, because it causes an immunocompromised state in the individual. Number two is the people living in tropical regions, because it's really warm and humid there, thus a favorable condition for fungus to grow. What are the causative organisms? The most common organism is Aspergillus niger, as you can see here, and we identify it as it forms black colonies on the external auditory canal and at the TM when we observe under an otoscope. And also the other is Candida albicans, which is usually seen in ICU patients. It forms white colonies. Okay, there's another one known as the Aspergillus fumigatus, and there is Aspergillus flavus as well seen in this diagram. Now the fumigatus usually causes fungal sinusitis. So these two usually coexist, automycosis and fungal sinusitis. Okay. What are the clinical features? You'll see three important clinical features here. Number one is again itching, because whenever there is a fungal infection in the skin, it's going to irritate the skin, which is going to cause itching. There is airfulness. As the fungal spores are filling the external auditory canal, you will get airfulness. And if this aggravates, the external auditory canal might be stenosed by these spores and it may cause conductive deafness. Then there is a discharge. What happens that on this automycosis, sometimes there is a secondary bacterial infection which can lead to otorrhea or discharge from this automycosis. Now signs. What are you going to see when you insert an otoscope inside that? You'll see that the external auditory canal is extremely inflamed. And on the tympanic membrane, you'll find a very special sign, the wet blotting paper appearance, because there is a shadow on this semi-transparent membrane. Remember this sign, it's very important, the wet blotting paper appearance. Now, what is the treatment for automycosis? Firstly, we'll observe the air under a microscope and we are going to clean the air. Now, there are a number of ways for that. There is a suction method, there is a dry mop method, but we are going to clean the fungus and then we are going to give air drops. Now, there are these special air drops which are a combination of 4. These air drops contain antifungal clotrimazole, antibacterial ciprofloxacin, so that we can remove the secondary bacterial infection or prevent it from happening if it's already not there. It contains an analgesic, lignocaine, for the pain. It contains steroid, beclomethasone, if there is any swelling there. Okay, combination of 4. Clotrimazole for the fungus, ciprofloxacin, the antibiotic, lignocaine, the analgesic, and beclomethasone, the steroid. Okay, and sometimes what happens is that the fungal hyphae, they penetrate the epithelium and involve the epithelium. Now, in this case, we need to remove the superficial epithelium. For that, we use a keratolytic or a keratolytic. Now, what's that? That's basically 2% salicylic acid in alcohol, or we can use acetylcysteine as well. They worked as keratolytic to remove the superficial epithelium. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I've added a few videos in the description for boil and automycosis, live view in the patient's tympanic membrane and external auditory canal. Once again, thank you, and let me know what you think in the comment section below.